And we are back to talk Star Wars.
Sturbers. Force Friday.
Force Friday happened this past Friday.
Didn't know about this.
It was apparently the release of a bunch of Star Wars action figures based off of the new movie, The Force Awakens.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of things. It wasn't just toys and action figures. There was like 5 novels that came out that are supposed to be...
There was a new starter set for the X-Wing miniatures game.
There was like 2... There was a drone and a droid.
A drone and a droid.
Yeah, there was a...
BB-8, I know, was one of the...
Was it the droid?
Droid.
Yeah, sorry. And there was a Millennium Falcon 4 prop drone.
Yeah.
That thing looks amazing.
There was the action figures that are what?
Oh, like
Quarter scale?
Yeah, quarter scale. They had one of the new Stormtrooper of that. I really wanted it because I have one of the quarter scale Stormtroopers at home. The originals.
The BB-8 toy is like, how much?
Stupid amounts of money. Like
It's about
$350.
It's $350. It's about the size of an orange. It's the only thing I saw because it was all over the tech blogs.
But it runs everywhere.
It is a accurate to movie like replica of how that thing performs. The little head balances on a magnetism thing on the top of the ball, and it rolls everywhere.
Yeah,
like it
awesome.
looks great, and it's remote control from your iPad.
That's crazy.
And I think it has a camera on the iPad.
Something
or
like
something
that.
Yeah, like
It's
it's
crazy.
totally interactive. You can just let it free roam, and it'll Roomba around the place. And if it hits people if it like runs over your foot or something like that, it marks it on the iPad as a stormtrooper it ran into.
So it's patrolling against... Okay.
I thought when I
That's
started
kinda
laughing there, he was doing a Chewbacca impersonation.
But there's also a bunch of regular Star Wars Black 6-inch action figures.
Yeah.
A bunch of the pop figures came out for it, so it was a big day. But from what I understand, everybody sold out very quickly.
Was it one of those things where you got like 6 for a store? Or 3
Yeah,
for
can
a
we back
store?
this up? So explain this to me. Force Friday is what?
It was the release of a bunch of toys.
There's a street date. Like...
Oh, it's a street date.
Yeah,
the street
release date.
Okay.
Yeah. The only issue I have with this,
The only.
besides Alex being involved,
Okay.
is it was mainly targeted towards big box retailers, your Walmarts, your Targets, your big malls,
Toys
and
R
stuff
Us.
like that. Toys R Us, and retailers on the smaller market, like your general comic book and gaming store.
Nothing. Nothing?
We got the shaft on this. We had nothing to sell that day. None of this new product at all. We won't get the new X-Wing miniatures game for 2 weeks.
And that's the newest thing we'll be getting into the shop?
We should be getting some of the toys in this next week, but
Yeah.
still, we did not get it on the day that it was released. The big day everybody's talking about Force Friday. We got nothing. The people that cater to your core fans that have been in love with Star Wars since 1977, the shops
Right.
they go to for their nerdy stuff,
Got
didn't
nothing.
get nothing. They had to go to Walmart. I find a big problem with that myself.
It just leaves us out in the wind, really.
Yeah, it left your small retailer out in nothing. We had nothing to do that day.
Oh, that's
Almost
just.
died.
Are you
it's
alive
so-
now?
Yeah, almost died.
We did too. That's how mad we were.
Just gonna roll out of this shot here for a hot second.
Okay.
All right.
But no, do you find that I don't know if offensive is a good word for it, but
Well,
irritating?
Okay, so I almost think of it as a sign of the times. Like, I desperately hope that they don't do this with Marvel properties.
I don't think they will, because I think they still see more of the comic book side of it.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you got to think, if you're Disney, you know that it's the Star Wars comics that are pushing Marvel to the top of the sales for the last few months, right? So you're right. There is a dichotomy of interest here, but really, it shouldn't. I hate saying this. It shouldn't be a surprise to us that the big box stores are where the money is, right?
Yeah, it should not be, but
And then from a fan perspective,
but not throwing a bone to the people that are going to keep this going for a long time.
you know what I
Because
would
guess
have liked to see?
The X-Wing game.
Yeah.
Walmart and Target tried to run that when it first came out.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, everything got sold on clearance out of there.
Yeah, there's no way that they're going to upkeep that stock like a hobby shop would.
No.
So what's probably happening is that they know that if we give it out to big box retailers, Disney says if we give these products out to big box retailers, there's certain order discounts that the big box retailers can do because they order at a volume.
Yeah.
They order at a volume that they can, there's things, the logistics handled out. Also, when you do that, those big box retailers are going to turn around and have marketing dollars to put behind those kinds of events. And
Right.
it pretty much makes the event bigger. You do it to a shop that's a sole proprietorship out in the middle of say, Bedford, Texas,
Mhm.
southeast corner of Harwood and 121.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to lose out on that marketing opportunity. But they know that we can give out to the big box retailers. They're going to carry it for that first big weekend, and then have the secondary inventory go out to the small retailers, your sole proprietorships, and those people are going to be able to keep that going. Those are your long-term sales. Those are
Well,
your,
that's
But
not true though.
Yeah, but that's not true. But also, why not just do a big mass release on it then and give it to all retailers that can carry it?
I've got a
It's
flip flop for
inventory.
you.
It's inventory because they want to make sure that the big box retailers have as much inventory as possible.
But they didn't.
What I would like to see
Everything got
happen-
sold out.
If they didn't, well, imagine if they had to spread that even thinner.
Then maybe they should have been more prepared for it.
Yeah, what do you mean thinner?
Well, if they only had so much inventory for the big box retailers to make this street date, which is the same every year, right?
No.
No. This
Force
was the
Friday is
first time
specifically
this has
for this
ever happened.
season.
Oh, then why are they talking like, oh, Force Friday this year?
Because
was
it's a
great.
big deal, dude.
Yeah.
These are all the
It's
holiday
the
toys.
first big deal.
It's the big deal. This is the first release of toys coming up into November, just before the
yeah.
film
Fine,
drops.
it's whatever. But what I'm saying is that they only had limited inventory to hit this release date.
I think it would have been better served to try and include your local, the smaller end of the comic and gaming and nerd.
I have a suggestion
culture.
of how I'd like to see that proposed for us, right?
Right.
So I think it would be cool if they had two tiers, so we were talking about the Droid and the Falcon, the Millennium Falcon things being in the upper end of the price points,
Right.
right? So what if they gave that opportunity to shops like ours, right? To where we didn't necessarily have to get the quarter size action figures and all these other things that come along, the Lego sets, the novels, all that
Maybe
stuff, right?
some stuff that's
But
exclusive to
the
your small
really
retailer.
high end stuff, like for example, what if we had gotten the lightsaber with the two spikes on the side, and you can only get those like kind of like the high end lightsabers that we already carry,
So-
but you can only get them.
Retailer exclusives.
Yeah,
So
That'd be
it could
nice.
have to do with pricing. The other thing there is that if you sell it to a smaller store, it's a lot easier for them to turn around and sell it at a ridiculous price online, especially a lower inventory product.
at this point in this situation, it shouldn't matter because what I'm talking about is a compromise that honors the small mom and pop shops. So if it were to happen, it would have to be with the understanding that they're not making mad bank and that the comic shop, because it is a collectible sub-market. See, and you might be getting at the heart of really what the matter is here, that with all these new toys that are coming out, there's going to be a secondary market, and it will it's probably already happening now. Like, we talk
I'm
about
sure
those.
people are selling those things for stupid amounts of money right now. Online.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I
I
haven't
guess,
checked, but I bet there are.
I bet you that BB-8 is going for at least $800.
yeah, if it's all sold out.
I'll look it
everywhere.
up while y'all talk.
Well, I just imagine that could be part of the impact of dealing with a secondary market and trying to prime, because you're still kind of early enough that maybe you could start producing more
Right.
of this or that for the
Because
season.
all of this stuff is going to get pumped back out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be back out there for people to get a hold of.
Another round
but
of shipments.
You've got your Star Wars freaks that have to have everything when it
Yeah.
hits. So I just feel like we could have at least been thrown a bone. If we had gotten
Yeah.
anything out of this besides a middle finger, it would be nice.
Because that is what it feels
It's
like.
kinda-
Right?
that's what it feels like.
Okay, so maybe a little bit sensitive, but not too.
Did you find something here?
I found it. How much was it retailing for?
I thought it was like $350.
I have them on eBay. Star Wars BB-8 Droid original and unopened, the app-enabled one, $205.
Huh.
Okay, so maybe it was only
There it is, like
150.
100 and something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's doubled. Okay, I was wrong. Am I $800 guess?
No worries. We should research it next time. No biggie.
No. God, no.
My Jim Carrey laugh.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Good, I'm glad I derailed you because
You
I
got
had
me.
no idea where you were going with that.
Anyway, I think it would have been better if we had gotten something out of this. Just saying.
As I said, you're gonna. I'd love to see the math behind it. I'd love to see what portion of the market share do the small mom and pop retailers have. I understand you're contributing to a bottom line, really are.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point do they need to prioritize you over somebody that can actually move the or move the inventory reliably at a rate to which they can predict? Because small mom and pops are at a different prediction level than a big box store.
You're still thinking about it like dollars and cents and
because
widgets
that's
that
what
are being
businesses
sold.
do.
Right, and what I'm
They
trying to
don't owe
suggest,
anybody anything.
are you rallying against me? Calm down, Chief.
I
Relax.
just don't know what you're getting at.
I'm getting to a very specific point, which is that, and it speaks to the heart of this fucking holiday, by the way. So there should and there needs to become, right, in this age of 2015 corporations or people, some type of a two-way bridge of just common respect, even if it's just dealing with the plebes in a market type of situation. I think that, because I'd hate to see, like I said, I would hate to see them do this with the Marvel toys that will be coming out for whatever the other movies are. Just, here's some toys that you can only get at Target and only get at Walmart and only get at Toys R Us. Yes, you're going to have those exclusives, right? But all of them can only be obtained not in a comic shop. It's just disrespectful to the industry that has existed since the beginning of all of this crap. So you have to acknowledge that they are throwing up a middle finger. That's what this whole segment is about. It has to be treated outside of that the dollars and cents, because there's more to this. It's a fandom. Yes, it's retail. Yes, it's business, but it is at the heart of it, it's somebody's belief system, bro. There's a whole religion called Jedi in Britain. You know, like, it's more than just dollars and cents.
Oh, God. But still, no, there is the point.
Yeah.
There is the point, though, that when you start taking what created it in the first place and the heart and soul out of it, you're going to turn into a corporate monster. You may make money out of it, but it's not going to be good.
Okay.
Right.
At the same time, though, those nerds, yes, they shop at comic shops every week, or they get their hobby stuff there, or they play games there. But they also buy groceries at Walmart and Target.
Yeah, no, I understand.
They also they're getting the foot traffic either way, and they know we can hit these target demographics with some financial reliability.
Does that make
behind
it right?
At the same time, life's not fair.
Yeah,
These giant companies
that's
owe
true.
you nothing if you're going to give them your money anyways. They don't owe these small mom and pop shops anything. And it's unfair. It sucks. I genuinely wish that they would do that respect thing. But at the end of the day, they're a giant company that's out to do one thing.
Money.
And if they
I don't
can
have to
make-
be happy about it, though.
If they can,
No,
if
you
it, well, here's their mentality.
And this argument doesn't negate my point of view either, you know?
No.
So,
But the harsh reality is, if they can make a ton of money while giving you something to be sentimental and enjoy,
mhm.
they're going to do it. And it's going to be on their terms, but never ours.
Right.
And if at any time we're getting any of it on our terms, it's going to be something unique and special. It's
Fair.
going to be something that's earned somehow through terrible amounts of financial channels.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, but it would be amazing.
I think
There's a place for it.
I think there will be a medium reached at one point, or we're just good. Then there will be 5 stores in the world at that point.
And they're probably sitting there thinking, like, look at all the Disney Infinity stuff that's selling gangbusters and video game sales. Ridiculous amounts of sales, and that whole Star Wars thing. How much of that do y'all carry at your store? Next to none, right? And it's probably just saying, okay, well, we have these items that are toys, that are our top-selling toys department in electronics,
Mhm.
selling at these big box stores, and maybe more incentive for them to put stuff there.
I think if they had come out with, like, here's the next issue of the comic book, but you can only buy it at Walmart, I think I would have an even bigger gripe.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a huge
And that-
issue, right?
yeah.
Could happen.
It could happen, and that's what that's one of the things I'm always afraid of. So
And
Which
that's,
brings up an interesting point, right? At which point will we ever find a situation of a boycott where people feel so passionately about this that they start actually not spending the money at the big box stores, or are we just like tilting at windmills? Are we just screwed?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I don't know.
oh, it'll work out or it won't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well,
kind of,
and of course, then there's the perspective that there are places that don't have comic shops at all anywhere near them. Period.
right, but
and
they
so-
got a Walmart, right?
And
So-
or a Target. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hastings is really big in East Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hastings gets all their own variant covers, and that drives me crazy.
Yeah, it drives me crazy too. But
As I said, life sucks. You're going to have to sit in line for something. It's Star Wars. Why are you surprised about this? Or you're going to struggle to find a toy near holiday of the biggest
adventure
Star
begins.
Wars year
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
so, oh well.
This is what you wanted. You wanted this fandom. You wanted
That's
to
a
have to
good
sit
point.
in line.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
You wanted the anecdote. You wanted to be able to go, I remember in 2015, approximately September the 4th, I was waiting. Yeah. I see what you mean. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Alex is right about a Star Wars topic?
Not really.
Right,
Okay,
but-
fair.
I mean, you had a
'Cause-
salient point, yes.
You have a point, but that doesn't make the situation.
And I
right.
understand how the man works.
The man.
Big boxes work, and the corporate overlords work, man.
The man.
I'm the man.
As long as you don't transition into a Jimber or a goat
one.
boy. You're like, me too, let's be friends.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wind down off the rage a little
Let's
bit. Calm down a little bit here.
yeah, we'll calm down.